History. Chapter 2. The Growth of Nationalism. Part 3. The French Revolution, Events and Napoleon. Welcome to Part 3, students. We've learned about the causes of the French Revolution. Now let's explore the exciting and dramatic events of the revolution itself. This was a period of tremendous upheaval, violence, and change that transformed France from an absolute monarchy to a republic based on revolutionary principles. The meeting of the Estates General. In May 1789, the Estates General met at Versailles for the first time in 175 years. Each estate was supposed to meet separately and vote as a group. This meant the first and second estates, clergy and nobles, could always outvote the third estate, commoners. 2-1, even though the third estate represented 95% of the population. The third estate demanded that all three estates meet together and vote as individuals, not as groups. This would give the third estate, which had more representatives, a fair chance. The king and the privileged estates refused. Frustrated and angry, the representatives of the third estate took a bold step. They declared themselves the National Assembly, the true representatives of the French people. They claimed the authority to make laws for France. The Tennis Court Oath. On June 20, 1789, when the Third Estate arrived for their meeting, they found the doors locked on the king's orders. Refusing to be intimidated, they moved to a nearby indoor tennis court. There, they took a solemn oath not to separate until they had written a new constitution for France. This became known as the Tennis Court Oath, a defining moment when common people stood up to royal authority. King Louis XVI, seeing their determination and fearing violence, reluctantly agreed to let all three estates meet together. But he also began gathering troops around Paris, planning to use force if necessary. The storming of the Bastille. The people of Paris learned that the king was bringing in troops. They feared he planned to crush the National Assembly and punish revolutionary leaders. Anger and fear spread through the city. On July 14, 1789, a huge crowd marched to the Bastille, a medieval fortress prison in Paris that symbolized royal tyranny. The Bastille held political prisoners and was a hated symbol of the king's absolute power. The crowd demanded weapons stored in the Bastille. When the commander refused, fighting broke out. After several hours of battle, the crowd captured the fortress, freed the prisoners, and killed the commander. They then began tearing down the Bastille stone by stone. The storming of the Bastille marked the beginning of the French Revolution. It symbolized the victory of the common people over royal tyranny. Even today, July 14th is celebrated as Bastille Day, France's national holiday, like Independence Day in America. Key revolutionary transformations. News of the Bastille's fall spread rapidly. Across France, peasants attacked nobles' castles, burning records of feudal dues they owed. In towns, people took over local governments. The old order was collapsing. The National Assembly worked quickly to transform France. In August 1789, they abolished feudalism and serfdom. Peasants were freed from obligations to their lords. Church lands were seized and sold to reduce government debt. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. On August 26, 1789, the National Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, one of history's most important documents. This declaration proclaimed revolutionary principles. All men are born free and equal in rights. The natural rights of man are liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression. The source of all sovereignty lies essentially in the nation, not in the king. All citizens have the right to participate in making laws. Freedom of speech, press, and religion must be protected. All citizens are equal before the law and have equal access to public positions based on merit, not birth. These principles were revolutionary. They completely rejected the old system based on hereditary privilege and divine right of kings. A new constitution and the reign of terror. By 1791, the National Assembly completed a new constitution for France. It established a constitutional monarchy where the king shared power with an elected legislature. It guaranteed civil rights and liberties. However, King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette secretly hoped foreign powers would invade France and restore their absolute power. In 1791, the royal family tried to escape France in disguise but were caught and brought back to Paris. This convinced many people that the king couldn't be trusted. In 1792, France declared itself a republic, abolishing the monarchy completely. Louis XVI was put on trial for treason, found guilty, and executed by guillotine in January 1793. Marie Antoinette was executed later that same year. Revolutionary leader Maximilien Robespierre and his followers then began the Reign of Terror, 1793 to 1794. They believed France faced enemies everywhere and executed anyone suspected of opposing the revolution. Thousands of people were guillotined. Eventually, even Robespierre himself was arrested and executed in 1794, ending the terror. The rise and fall of Napoleon. The rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. After the terror, France was exhausted and unstable. In 1795, a new government called the Directory was established, but it was weak and corrupt. France needed strong leadership. Enter Napoleon Bonaparte, a brilliant young military officer from Corsica. Napoleon had won stunning victories commanding French armies against foreign enemies. In 1799, Napoleon overthrew the Directory in a coup and established the Consulate, a government led by 3 consuls. Napoleon became first consul, effectively making himself the ruler of France. In 1802, he became consul for life. In 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of France in a magnificent ceremony attended by the Pope. Napoleon's achievements and conquests. Napoleon reformed France's administration, establishing efficient government systems that exist even today. He created the Napoleonic Code, Code Civil, a comprehensive system of laws that guaranteed many revolutionary principles like equality before the law. As a military leader, Napoleon was a genius. Between 1805 and 1810, he was at the height of his glory. He defeated Austria, Prussia, and other European powers. He conquered much of Europe, spreading revolutionary ideas like legal equality wherever his armies went. Napoleon's fall. However, Napoleon's ambition eventually led to his downfall. His invasion of Russia in 1812 was a disaster. European powers united against him. In 1814, Napoleon was defeated and exiled to the island of Elba. He escaped and returned to France in 1815, but was finally defeated at the Battle of Waterloo in June 1815. He was exiled to the remote island of St. Helene in the South Atlantic, where he died in 1821. Conclusion of Part 3. The French Revolution overthrew the monarchy, established democratic principles, and transformed French society. Napoleon consolidated revolutionary reforms while conquering much of Europe. Though he eventually fell, both the revolution and Napoleon's legacy spread nationalist and democratic ideas across Europe. In Part 4, we'll explore the Congress of Vienna and the lasting significance of these revolutionary movements.